Hello, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lee Kara Friedlander. I'm originally from upstate New York. I moved to Kitimat a few years ago to marry my husband, Philip Romick. Together, we run the digital agency called the Business Launch Network. We combine AI and technology tools to help you scale, build recurring revenue, and make the biggest impact in the world with your business that you can. So, why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you this because when I came to Kitimat, I didn't have a hairdresser. Now, obviously, you can tell my hair is kind of important to me. And really the issue was I didn't know any service providers in the area. So I started calling around and trying to figure out who I could go to, who I could trust my hair with. Because my whole life in New York, I only had one hairdresser. It was like a big risk coming here and trying to find somebody new. Well, I got the information of the people at Phoenix Texture Salon in the mall. I've never gone anywhere since. I became a brand champion for them because I had such an amazing experience and I built a connection with the people in the salon. And that's really what I want to help you find today is how you can build brand ambassadors or brand champions for your businesses. So let's begin. Let's see if this works. Technology, right? So in order to begin thinking about what a brand champion is, you need to know what a value proposition is. So this is really the simple elevator pitch you give when you meet an ideal client at the supermarket and you have less than 30 seconds to tell them about your next business, product, or service. So how do we do that? The key elements of any good pitch or value proposition is being unique. It makes you stand out. And then being clear, you should communicate the value of what you're trying to articulate, a sale, an offer, a product, very, very, very specifically. And B, it should be compelling. It should make people want to buy. It should make people feel something. Why is this important? It's important because you may sell 100 items in your store. You may be a Shoppers or a pharmacy where you've got tons of things that help people. But if the person doesn't know why they are coming into your store to buy today, they're not going to come and they're going to go to the next person down the road. So this means you need to know who your audience is and not just your brand, your big vision, but who is this sale for? Who is this offer for? Who is this product for? So there's multiple levels that this has to be broken into. You need to use data to guide your strategy. So yes, when we're thinking about our brands, a lot of us have that big vision, the big dream. I'm going to build this amazing brand. I'm going to feel this. But there's got to be data behind it. Every business that's excelling in this world today is using data. And data is collected by talking to your customers. Literally asking them, what did you think about this service? What did you think about the product I gave you last week? That data you can collect through social media. And as Devin said, there's tons of ways to do this through email and all of this. But really, it doesn't matter. You can still talk to somebody. When somebody comes to you and has a manicure, ask them, how was the service today? And take note of what they're saying, because when you use your customer's language, you're going to draw more people into your business like that ideal customer. Are we following so long so far? We're good? All right. So when you're crafting your message, the first step is defining what problem are you solving? What is this particular problem helping somebody fix? What is the big pain point that they're having? So for instance, if you're a relationship coach, how is your coaching service going to help somebody fix their marriage? What is the real pain point at the bottom of all of the thoughts that you're solving? Next, you want to know what the solution is. So oftentimes people talk in solution-focused language. I help couples feel happier. Yes, they need to feel happier. We want them to feel happier, but if you can't explain to them what they're struggling with, well, maybe they're arguing a lot. That's the problem. And the solution language is that I want them to be happier. 3, uniqueness. Now, what is separating your business from somebody else's? So for instance, if you are a relationship coach, because I work with a lot of coaches online in our business, they say, I want to be a life coach. I'm going to make everyone feel better. But the thing is, if you can't explain to that person why they are the person you're helping in this moment, no one's going to buy because you're speaking to no one. And your call to action. So it's very important. A lot of us, and I had struggled with this for a long time, I never asked my clients to do anything. I never asked them to buy. I never asked them to leave a comment. I never asked them to engage on my social media. And that's your call to action. And that's literally what you see on YouTube videos where it's like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, like my video, share it with your friends. If you need to really clearly ask people to do something, to engage with your content or engage with your product or service or purchase something, because half the times they'll love your content, but if they don't actually know how to purchase, where's the link, what do I do next, they're not going to purchase. A lot of mistakes people make is vague messaging. So the whole, I help everyone feel good. It's not clear to me, well, are you helping women? Are you helping men? Are you helping children? Are you helping people who are, new to a different country? Like they're not talking to anybody in particular. Copycat messaging. This is when you see a really great statement somebody else has put out for their business and you mimic it very closely. Yes, there is this whole thing in the industry where you do want to use stuff you know is working. So for instance, if you're putting out an ad for your business, you want to make sure that it's based off data you've got that, yes, this ad is going to work, and you don't just, pull it out of the top of your hat. But you don't want to copy someone so closely, because it's not your voice, it's not your authentic brand, and it won't sell to your ideal customers. One size fits all offers. This is what I was talking about before in terms of I help everyone feel good. Well, if you're a pharmacy, for example, like the Pharmacy and Shoppers, you have kids' toys there, you've got hair supplies, you've got medicine, you've got vitamins, you've got tech. Like, yes, you can help everyone, but if that person doesn't know why they're coming in today, that maybe they need batteries for their stereo, or maybe their kid lost their teddy bear and they need something, they need to know why they're choosing your store to come in today. This is the cool part. Our business focuses on helping entrepreneurs build recurring revenue in their business. You want to have a really strong offer, and this is where we start with our clients, is helping them build really solid offers around the marketing of their business. And what we build into the business platform is what we call an ascension model. So for instance, maybe the thing that gets someone to come into Shoppers is they ran out of toilet paper, something really basic, they come in, but then when they're there, they see, oh, this is on sale, and then, oh, this is on sale. So what we do with your offer is help clients realize, once I come into somebody's business, I want to keep buying with them, because it's easier to keep an old client than it is to go out and get 10 new clients. So we continue to help you build new offers and new products that you can sell to your customers so they always stay in your ecosystem. Now, what this also does is build recurring revenue. So every month, something you sold is continuing to sell, rather than having to always come up with a new offer, a new sale, and a new strategy. And it's great for small businesses, because then you're not having to do millions of things. You have a very few select things that you know are going to sell at a really great price. You can expect the revenue every month that's coming in, and then you just continue to build on it instead of having to try this strategy and then next month we're over here doing this strategy, which I know I struggled with as a new entrepreneur. I was always thinking of the next thing. Also, this speaks to communicating beyond the sale, because once a customer comes in, if they have that great experience with you, they're going to want to come back. They're going to often say, when can I see you next? What can we do next? What is your next sale offer or sale? And so you got to think ahead. So for instance, if someone's come in for a manicure, well, then you're going to offer them a pedicure once the spring. So you tell them ahead of time, hey, next time you come in, maybe you get 10% off your pedicure. And then that allows them to plan, oh, I'm going to come back for this. Oh, I already know I want to come back. That's the roadmap you need to build out before your customer even comes in to buy. Because otherwise you're just like, well, I don't know what I have next. Choosing the right channels. Now, this is what a lot of us think of. We think of websites, we think of social media, and we think of email campaigns. But there's a lot more things you can do in this day and age to reach your customers. There are literally softwares, one of which we use. But basically, you can send a text to your customers. You ask them for permission to send them a text. When you go into a store, it's like, hey, can you leave your email and phone number? Then you get that text from them that says, hey, we're Target and we want to make sure you're on our list. That is an opt-in, and what that means is that you are giving the business permission to text you. And when you have a business and you ask for permission from your clients, you can send them texts. And the cool thing about that is that people are more often to open a text message, which means 98% of the time they're going to open that text message. So you can literally send them a message at happy hour. If you're a restaurant, Tuesday night, we're slow tonight, let's send out the text message and give everybody 10% off drinks that night. Plus, you can just talk to people. In a great town like Kitimat, you see people, you run into people, you know people. And word of mouth is one of the most powerful ways you can still reach new customers. Because obviously, right now, you are the circle I'm talking to. I'm only talking to a few of us. But each one of you have your own connections that you could go and tell about this presentation if you really liked it. So what that does is it gives the business owner, in this case you guys, reach beyond your own inner circles, because there's only so many people we can interact with in a day, even on social media platforms. So the more you can get your customers to become your brand champions and to talk about your business, post about your business, share about your business, the more of those inner circles you will get into that are outside of your own sphere. So don't forget to actually talk to people. So when measuring the success of your communication, track your metrics. This is something I did not understand for the first few years I ran my business, and when you don't track it, you don't see it. And that really means oftentimes we miss connections. So for instance, you send out 15 DMs that day, maybe you have someone who wants to purchase, and they're a hot lead, they're excited to purchase from you, but then all of a sudden you're sending out a bunch of family DMs, that hot lead goes missing on Facebook. Without Calendly, you can miss appointments. And so all of that is actually missing money. It's missing revenue that you could be making because you didn't see it. So track your numbers, track your calls, track your sales. And when you use software, it's all done for you. It's all automated. It's done with AI. So you don't even have to worry about putting it into Calendly. It's just your client's book, it's there, it's done. The other thing is continuously refine your messaging. So obviously you need to start with a value proposition. You need to figure out who you are speaking to, and all of that, that's kind of the setup process. But once you're into the regular momentum process of running your business, where you're just tweaking a few things, you want to make sure you're going back to new customer language and staying up to date with what your community is saying. For instance, a lot of stylists use this particular language to describe the hair extensions they use or the coloring jobs they do, and that community knows that language. Whereas if you had a construction person come into that Facebook group, they'd be totally confused by the language, right? And that speaks to staying relevant. Social media and this world in general is going so fast. Everything is updating regularly, every day. It used to be year by year. Now it's moment by moment. So when you stop paying attention to some of the modern things that are happening, including AI, whether you like AI or you don't, it's here to stay from everything we've been hearing and learning. And it will simplify your life. Yes, there's kind of that darker side that people are talking about, but for a lot of us, people I know who are using it, my husband who uses it, it makes content creation process easier, managing clients, managing retention, all of those pieces of your business get simplified just because you get to use a tool. So it may be a new tool, we may not know it, but 10, 15 years ago, the internet was a new tool that we now think is part of every day. You are all early adopters if you start looking into this now and start implementing it. Referrals, this is what I was speaking to you about before. Speak to your customers. Stay connected with your customers. The more you can build that personal relationship beyond just the sale process with your customers, the more likely they will be continuous customers. And there are so many automated ways to connect and build referrals into your system. So for instance, I don't know if you've ever seen at coffee shops, sometimes they have that little iPad, can you leave us a review? Just takes 2 seconds, and while you're putting in your card, that you just hit the button, smiley face, and it's done. All of that data they're collecting to continuously build better offers and sell back to us because we were their customers. And you can do that too with your business now. Why Google reviews matter. The beauty of this is you don't have to do much. It doesn't take a lot to collect this data from your clients. And for instance, when I came looking for my hairdresser, I went to Google reviews, and her salon was listed as one of the higher reviewed salons in town. And I also called the salons. I called a bunch of hairdressers and got personal referrals, and they all sent me to the same stylist there. So I knew based off what I saw on Google and then who I talked to that this was a great place to go. And that's what we all do. When you travel, you pull up, like, where do I go for dinner? You pull up your phone and you go into Google and you pick a restaurant. You actually have no idea if it's a good restaurant until you eat, you know, but we all just trust the reviews now. So why not use these reviews to boost your business? Because if you have 2 mechanic shops in town and one is collecting 200 Google reviews and one has 5, even if the one that has 5 has better reviews, like what people are saying, people are going to statistically trust the 200 reviews because there's just more data, and we all like data. So why not boost your business by collecting reviews? Piece that speaks to the whole kind of conversation we've been having today. How do you build a brand champion? How do you bring somebody from never knowing who you are, finding you on Google, through being one of your biggest champions and supporters? And that process is pretty easy if you think about it. They come in, you have a good value proposition, marketing. All of your back-end stuff is set up, so it's an easy process for them to come in and purchase. And that involves all the different pieces of tech. Then once they're in, they've got a sale, you already are upselling them. You're already telling them about the next great offer you're having, the next summer sale, the next time they can come in and purchase something. So in their mind, they're already primed to be a buyer, because if they're buying right now, they're still in that buying mode. And then you bring them in, you send the text reminders, you send the email reminders, you send, if you want to do even mail, direct mail, you can do that. And that keeps you at the top of their list for that service. You want to become the expert in what you do, because that's why people come back to you. Think of a surgeon. Do you want to just go to a general practitioner to do heart surgery for you, or do you want to go to the best surgeon in the country who has a track record of doing heart surgeries, quick, fast, and efficient? That's the surgeon versus the general practitioner. You want to be that surgeon because you want to be known in your ecosystem as the expert. And when you become the expert, people come back. And then you're not looking for 10 new clients, you have 10 clients who are already coming back, plus that 1 or 2 who are the referrals. An interconnected system that's already working for you, and you don't have to do anything right now to keep it working except send out reminders and continually check in on clients. And from that point forward, they become brand ambassadors. And that means they're the person who's going and recommending you. So I've met a bunch of other people who've come into Kitimat the last couple of years who've looked for a hairdresser. And I have sent them directly to the same person I went to because I had such a great experience. That could be your business, and there's always new people coming into this town. So it's a really great way to constantly keep that engine running to build recurrent. So we know Apple, everybody knows Apple. Their message is to design and innovate that makes a difference in people's lives. Fiverr is a place where you can go and hire freelancers to do digital marketing and all sorts of stuff like that. It's freelance services for the lean entrepreneur. What's yours going to be? That's my question. Does anybody want to work on practicing designing one today?